But what we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. Well, come on, man. That kid was a cakewalk.
Nigga wrong. Canelo always has had a problem with boxers. He always struggles when he fights a boxer. Anybody knows that if you can box and take a punch, you're going to give him a hard time. Bud is not one of these guys that's going to quit.
Bud Crawford soundly defeating Canelo Alvarez. We thought that maybe he could have won by even a further margin on the scorecards. He gets it done unanimously. Teddy, can you put into words what we just saw from Terence Crawford?
Well, the only thing I wonder is if Crawford was born and made in a laboratory.
Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back after Canelo Alvarez's loss to Terence Crawford. He mocked Canelo, saying the Mexican star isn't the same fighter anymore and that his reputation has been exaggerated for years. Mayweather also revealed that he had full faith in Crawford from the very beginning, even putting down a hefty wager on him. That bet ended up paying off big, with reports online showing a receipt claiming Floyd cashed in after risking $50,000 on Crawford to win. On the other side, Canelo Alvarez accepted the defeat with professionalism. He praised Crawford's performance, calling him a worthy champion who deserved the victory. At the same time, Canelo was quick to remind everyone that his career is far from over. He stressed that he still feels strong both physically and mentally, and even hinted that a rematch with Crawford could be on the horizon. His comments showed that despite the setback, his competitive drive and determination to protect his legacy remain as fierce as ever.
I say to him, I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's gonna be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters, and I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there, and I am still taking risks because I love boxing.
If you continue, do you feel like this is still the Canelo Alvarez that we've all known and loved for all these years? Or do you feel like something's changed? Are you still the fighter that you were?
No, I feel great. I feel strong. You know, Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Ryan Garcia reacted strongly to Terence Crawford's dominant performance, giving him high praise. On social media, Garcia wrote that he truly believes Crawford might be the greatest fighter ever. He explained that the skills and mentality Crawford displayed in the ring place him in a rare category, the kind of greatness that only comes along once in a generation. Meanwhile, veteran trainer and analyst Teddy Atlas offered his perspective, comparing Canelo Alvarez's defeat to Crawford with his earlier loss to Floyd Mayweather. Atlas pointed out that Canelo has lost speed as weaknesses that Crawford was able to expose, even after being inactive for a year. According to Atlas, Crawford's sharp timing and movement neutralized Canelo's power, much like Mayweather did years ago. For Atlas, the fight reinforced a clear truth. Canelo struggles against the very best technical boxers. For Crawford, however, the victory adds another major achievement to his already legendary resume.
From the beginning, that if you go back, and I know it was a lot of years ago, I get it, but you have to have something to point at. If you go back to when he lost his first fight, of course, Canelo I'm talking about, to Mayweather, it wasn't just that his hands were too slow, his feet were too slow. And he's in there with a guy with quick feet and quicker hands. You know what? It doesn't matter how big he is. What did Ali say? Your hands cannot hit what your eyes cannot see. That was tonight. It was great.
Let's put some context on this.
It was great.
Let's put some context on this victory first. A year out of the ring. I think it was like 13 some odd months out of the ring, okay?
Yeah, really?
Yeah. 2 weight classes. Think about that.
Yep.
He had surgery early at the beginning of the year. Surgery on the shoulder surgery, right? Not sure which one. And to come in here and to put on that type of performance against Canelo that actually is coming off a performance, right? You expected Canelo to be sharp. He was sharp. However, what Crawford did was he took the air out of the ball.
Yep.
He used this. That's what boxing's about, people. It's about this. Strategy. That's what he had. He used his feet. He understood Canelo every single movement. That's why Canelo couldn't land any shots on him. He knew what was coming. He knew that the looping right hand was going to come from the southpaw position. So what did he do? Hold the phone. He knew that the hook to the body was going bump. What did he do? Block, and he shot up with counters.
One of his great we don't hear about enough. One of those things that are not so easily as immeasurable on paper, but it's eyes, vision,
focus.
Yeah, we know the physical ones we talk about and we understand so easily. Speed, power, quickness, legs, all that stuff. But eyes, the radar. This guy's got infrared.
Sports journalist Ariel Helwani was among the first to confirm the official result, posting it on social media almost immediately. He reported, Terence Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez by unanimous decision, with scores of 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113. The tally showed that while the fight was competitive, the judges consistently favored Crawford's work throughout the rounds. The outcome underscored his ability to control the pace and dictate the action, proving his discipline and strategy on one of boxing's biggest stages. Helwani's update quickly spread across platforms, sealing the moment as a historic triumph. Crawford had not only beaten one of the sport's most celebrated champions, but had also elevated his own standing among boxing's elite. Teofimo Lopez, never shy about giving strong opinions, weighed in as well. He praised the matchup for showcasing two of the world's best and declared that the correct fighter got the win. Lopez went further, saying Crawford now deserves recognition among the top 10 greatest fighters of all time. In his eyes, Crawford's composure, ring IQ, and flawless execution distinguished him as more than just the victor of the night, his building a permanent place in boxing history. Such praise from a current champion only reinforced the magnitude of Crawford's victory and the respect it commands within the sport.
Of his prime, how can you gauge it? Doesn't matter. We saw a great fight tonight, did we not? That's all that matters. Two guys risked it, and the better man won tonight. That was Crawford. Terence got it right. Is there no need for a rematch, or do you want to see running back? Because it was pretty good, like you said. No, it was pretty, it was really good, actually. Yeah. So it's up to the jam. He's a jam. He can do whatever he wants.
What do you think happens with Canelo next after this?
What happens to Canelo after this? It don't matter. He's made a big statement for not only Mexico or the pride of Mexico, but for all Latinos right there. So he's done a great job for himself, man. Nevertheless, Crawford is on his way, continuing to create greatness.
Mentally.
What's up?
You fought it for Crawford earlier. What did you see to make you fall it like that?
I know boxing. I just know stylistically. I've been in the gym with. I've shared the ring with Canelo, and then I see that. So
they were saying that if he beats Canelo, it could put him as even the greatest of all time. What does that put him in the all-time list, man?
At least top 10.
At least
top 10 or top 15. Yeah. Easily, There's guys that we may not know of or heard of, like Henry Armstrong. Simultaneously, he was 3 divisions carrying all 3 weight divisions at the same time.
Which performance was better? I don't like to compare them, but Crawford or Mayweather's over Canelo. Like it's just different.
It's just different styles, different looks.
At the post-fight press conference, Canelo Alvarez was asked to reflect on what it was like to share the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. His answer quickly made headlines because of the comparison he drew between the two. Canelo admitted that Crawford left a stronger impression on him, particularly in the later championship rounds where precision and control become most important. He even went as far as to say, "I believe Crawford is far better than Floyd Mayweather." That bold remark not only highlighted the respect Canelo has for Crawford's performance, but also ignited heated discussions among fans and analysts about how the two icons measure up in the sport's history books.
World of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Following the defeat, talk quickly turned to what lies ahead for Canelo Alvarez. His tone and body language left some wondering if retirement could be on his mind, especially now that Terence Crawford's victory has shifted much of boxing's attention in a new direction. Many observers described the bout as a masterclass, with Crawford outthinking and outmaneuvering Canelo to claim the belt. The win is already being viewed as a landmark moment, elevating Crawford into conversations about the conclusion. For Crawford, it further cements his role as the new standard bearer and one of the defining faces of modern boxing.
Was going to create history. I told you guys this before he fought Sean Porter. I said that Terence Bud Crawford can beat first ballot Hall of Famer and superstar and legend, Canelo Alvarez. I've been saying this for years, that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. And tonight, he did just that. He did just that. Not only did he beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, but he arguably retired Canelo Alvarez, who after the fight, Canelo Alvarez stated that he's done everything that he needed to do in the sport of boxing. When asked do he want a rematch with Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez said, it's no need. He gave no indications of a rematch. And Canelo Alvarez stated that he's a Hall of Famer, he's a winner, just being there made him a winner, right? And he stated that he's done everything he needed to do in the sport of boxing. That's what he said. Canelo Alvarez got schooled once again. I told you guys, styles make fights. This particular style of boxers and counterpunchers and movers has historically given Canelo Alvarez problems. And as I told you guys, right? Terence Crawford can fight any which way he chooses to fight. He's just that much more versatile. And everybody didn't believe me. They said I was tripping. Canelo was too big. He gonna knock out Terence Crawford, right? He too big, too strong. Terence Crawford get hit. Terence Crawford don't box, don't move. And I told you guys, when Terence Crawford wants to move and wants to box, right? He can. And he would, right? And guess what? Terence Crawford, I told you guys, when he fought the likes of Victor Postol, right? Y'all said that, oh, he don't move that much. I said, did you look at his fight with Victor Postol? Did you look at his fight with Jose Benavidez? Yeah, well, those guys ain't Canelo Alvarez. And I told you guys, it doesn't matter if they're Canelo Alvarez. It's about Terence Crawford's ability to be able to maneuver around and box in every which manner he so chooses. If he wants to incorporate that style that he boxes and moves, he could. And what did he do tonight? I said Terence Crawford could fight at every level. Didn't I tell you guys that? I said Terence Crawford can fight in mid-range. He could fight on the outside. He could fight on the inside. Canelo Alvarez cannot. Y'all asked me, why aren't you talking about what Canelo Alvarez could do great? And I told you, because we know what Canelo Alvarez is going to do. He's going to fight. He's consistent in who he is and how he fights. Period. I told you guys that.
Boxing great Andre Ward wasted no time putting Terence Crawford's performance into context. He labeled it a historic moment, the kind of generational fight that will be remembered for decades to come. Ward emphasized that nights like this are what separate great boxers from true legends, and Crawford's dominance over Canelo Alvarez was exactly that kind of defining moment. What impressed Ward most was Crawford's ability to stay sharp and disciplined while systematically breaking Canelo down round after round. By calling it a GOAT-level performance, Ward essentially placed Crawford in the conversation among the sport's all-time greats, highlighting just how significant this victory was in the grand scope of boxing history.
Terence Crawford, greatness, and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
From Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight, and he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turkey Al-Sheikh for putting it together. Just a great night for boxing.
Yeah. How special a fighter is someone like Terence Crawford? There was no signs of a size disadvantage there. How special?
You can see it in spots, but it wasn't significant. And I didn't think it was going to be significant. And people called me crazy, but I've been around Terence. He's strong. He's got a wrestling background, and people don't realize that he's been boiling himself down all these years and still being successful, not having to do that. His condition seemed impeccable, and his strength was there, the power was there enough to get respect from Canelo. So what more can I say?
What would you like to see him do next? Do you think there's another fight after this?
I'd like to see him be done. What are we boxing for at this point? What else is there to do? There's always going to be a YouTuber or a reporter or somebody conjuring up another challenge. We box to get ourselves in a better financial position, to build a name and a legacy. Those boxes are checked. What else are we doing?
Rising prospect Keyshawn Davis, who views Terence Crawford as both a mentor and a role model, reacted with clear excitement and pride after the fight. He referred to Crawford as one of the GOATs, a label younger fighters rarely use unless a performance truly earns it. Davis highlighted the way Crawford executed his strategy with near perfection, never allowing Canelo to get comfortable or establish momentum. For him, this wasn't just another victory. It was proof that greatness is built on skill, intelligence, and relentless hard work. His response showed just how much this moment means to the next generation of boxers, many of whom hope to follow the same path Crawford has carved out in the sport.
What's up, bro? Yes, sir.
What do you think made the difference?
The speed, really.
Yeah.
I think it was the main factor. Canelo couldn't really keep up with him. He was too fast. His feet, footwork was too good.
Do you think the scores was right on, or do you think maybe it was a little more towards Bud?
What was the scorecards?
115, 113, 116, 112.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I feel like Bud damn near basically won every round. So
yeah.
But yeah, that's about right. You can say that.
Now, with this accomplishment, Keyshawn, is he on the Mount Rushmore of
Hell
boxers?
Yeah. Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
3-time undisputed. He just beat Canelo.
Yeah.
The face of boxing. So now you can say Bud is the face of boxing.
Greatest of all time, or?
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it can never be one great.
He questioned how any judge could reasonably give Canelo Alvarez 5 rounds, stressing that Terence Crawford was clearly the more effective fighter from start to finish. Lewis pointed out that Canelo has always had difficulties with mobile, slick opponents, and Crawford's footwork and agility once again exposed that weakness. While Lewis admitted he expected more explosive exchanges during the bout, he still gave full credit to the technical mastery on display. His analysis underscored both the vulnerabilities in Canelo's style and the brilliance of Crawford's adaptability, which effectively shut down the Mexican champion's offense.
Let me tell you, great fight. I was hoping that there was more action coming from Canelo. You know, I'm used to Canelo fighting that way all the time. He tried his best. He always has trouble against movers. I was really expecting them to be more punches, more movement by Canelo. What can you say?
This reminds me of the point that Jaya Patai made yesterday, and you picked up on it. He said he's coming in with all his belts. Terence looks like he's still hungry, and Canelo looks like he's whining and dining in his success. Do you think that might be the difference tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was a little bit of difference. The cat has got really fat, so he tried his best. I've seen Canelo box about many times, and I thought that this time he just boxed like he always boxes. And then I felt he couldn't really do nothing against Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford was too quick, too elusive. Anybody would find trouble with him, but Canelo couldn't find him.
The scorecards were 2 red, 115, 113. Were they right with the cards?
It was for Canelo to win a round. I say he won about 3 rounds in that fight. I was actually amazed at the way how Terence Crawford moved and never got hit, and threw combinations, because that's what you're supposed to do, throw combinations. So he threw combinations. He wasn't trying to knock out Canelo, but he definitely was throwing a lot of punches, a lot of combinations.
Roy Jones Jr., himself regarded as one of the most naturally gifted boxers in history, was left stunned by what he saw in the ring. He applauded Crawford's performance, calling it a masterclass that blended skill, patience, and strategy into a complete display. Jones noted that Canelo has always struggled against opponents who use speed and movement to their advantage, and Crawford once again made that weakness visible. To him, this wasn't just a victory. It was a dismantling of Canelo's usual style, leaving the Mexican star with no real solutions. Coming from a legend like Jones, the praise added even more weight to the idea that Crawford's showing was both dominant and technically brilliant, leaving no question about who the superior fighter was on the night.
Performance, exactly what I expected. All I want to see was Creed take the punch. If you take a punch, we knew what would happen from that.
Did you expect him to trade with Canelo like that on the inside?
Yes, we spoke on the airplane going to Dubai.
Yeah.
The only thing I told him was that you could not give Canelo the center of the ring. And earlier you gave it to him, but then he started outboxing and outsmarting with it, and he started taking it back at the right time. So he studied his film very well. He knew when to fight, when to move left and when to move right. It was a very smart fight. He completely frustrated Canelo.
Did you score it, Roy?
Huh?
Did you score it?
No, I didn't score it, but I think probably was something like 8-4.
8-4?
Yep.
What do you think should happen next, Roy?
I have no clue.
Crawford put himself amongst the all-time greats like yourself with that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
5-weight world champion, three-weight undisputed champion.
Yes.
Where are you putting him in the all-time list?
Hard to beat that.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more updates coming your way soon.